how you guys are doing. This is Zenanov here, and in today's video I will be showing you how can you make an epic thumbnail for your YouTube videos. So before we get into the video, smash that icon down below. Let's see if we can hit 15 likes, because at 15 likes I will be giving out the template for the thumbnail that I'm making right now. So let's straight get into the tutorial. So I'm using my graphics pack that is not yet released for the stocks that I will be using. So I will be using this one, and I will be using a particle. I will be using particles also. So I will just enable these. Now what you wanna do is press Ctrl N and set your width to 1920, height to 1080, resolution to 150, background contents transparent, and just copy my settings and name it thumbnail tutorial or whatever you are wishing or you are making videos on, and press OK. So this will make this thing. Now I'm gonna drag my image from my graphics pack, because if you have graphics pack you might be knowing it how to use, so I'm not gonna cover it right now. But if you don't have a graphics pack or something like that and you want to place your own stock, then go to file and then go to place, and that's it, how you place your stocks on the document. Now I will again go to my pack, and this time I will use the particles, kind of drag the particles in. I will be using this also, but not right now. I'm gonna use it a bit late in my tutorial. I will be using it toward end, but I'm just keeping it to close my pack so that my Photoshop doesn't lag. It really lags when a graphics pack is open, I think. Now I will be making a new layer above the above this stock. So just press this button right here to make the new layer, and we are gonna make a vintage type of effect. So we'll grab the brush and make sure that the black color is selected, and then just drag it around like this, which will make a vintage type of effect. And if you don't know how to select the black color, but this black color should be by default, just click on this black thing right here and you will be able to just select color like really easily. If you don't know how to select by that, then you probably don't know the basics of Windows, because that's how you select the color even in paint, not in Photoshop only. So we will now reduce the opacity of it by coming to right here, something like this. So we have now a cool type of vintage effect. Now I will go back, I will click on this and set highlight this stock background, and now grab my text tool from right here, change the color to white. To do that, just click here and change the color to white, and then type your text. I'm gonna type thumbnail tutorial, and then choose your font. I'm gonna use two different font. The first is Gotham, I don't know how to pronounce this exactly, and the next is Nexa Bold. I think that the Gotham Black font is bolder than Nexa Bold. That's why I'm using on it the thumbnail, because that's something that I want to emphasize on. Now I will hold shift and drag it to make it bigger, something like this, and press enter. Now I will press Ctrl A, and from right here just I will tap on this and on this, which will quite centralize this. Now I will select text tool again, double click on my text, and now I will bring some adjustment changes. So first I will select the top text, press Ctrl T, and where it says VA, it is like vertical alignment, vertical spaces, whatever you can call. I will change it 60 for the top text, and I will adjust it according to where it like kind of aligns with the top text, which is like above, something like this. And if you want to centralize it, just press Ctrl A, and here you have the centralize option. So now I think that there's nothing pretty much to just do that, but what I can do is that I can reduce the font size of the lower one and increase the space it covers, which is pretty nice effect in my personal opinion. I'm gonna increase space a bit more. Something like 290 will do well for right here. 290 will do well for the spacing, I guess. Yes. Okay, so I think that's it. Now I will right click on it, close tab group to close it. Now I will press Ctrl A and again centralize it. I've already told you how to centralize it. Now I will right click, go to blending options from right here, and then we will add some options to it. So first option I'm gonna add is drop shadow. Make sure opacity is 75%, distance is set to 0, and add some size and some spread, and that will do a nice drop shadow effect, which is quite decent. Now I will add some gradient overlay to it, but in two text layers it doesn't look quite good. So I will click on this gradient thing right here, and I will just click somewhere between middle and left click on it and make the location 50%, and where it is the last one I will left click on it, make the color black, and which is quite decent I believe. Kinda it gives us like kind of fade effect or something like that, but you can customize it your own. I've just given you a hint how can you customize it. After doing your customizations, just press OK, decrease the opacity of it, and we can have a nice gradient overlay effect. And I'm gonna go with something like this. Something like this looks really cool to me. Then I'm gonna add some inner glow. I'm gonna set the inner glow bit to a bit reddish, light red. I'm gonna just make it something like light red. Let's try to make it light red. Okay, this is quite good, quite good in my personal opinion. But I don't want to add inner glow to it right now because I'm going to do some shading around it. So another thing that I recommend doing after this is press Ctrl J to duplicate and this thumbnail layer. Place this layer down and right click, go to blending options, and this time remove the drop shadow, and this will be useful later, not right now. I will tell you why. So right click, rasterize type, rasterize layer style, and just that's it. Now it looks pretty decent right now, but we are gonna add some more things like particles because they will make it look even better I believe. So if we see the particles, but before the particles we can add some more lighting also I guess. Okay, something got wrong. So we will add a new layer, and on this layer we will select the brush tool and then click on this black and white thing right here. Just click on this to reverse it, and we have white selected as the foreground color. I will press alt, and I will use my scroll wheel to zoom out a little bit. I will make the brush more bigger and make a top white lighting effect. And as I zoom out I can also see that kinda it is not like aligned with the whole canvas. I will press Ctrl T by left clicking and selecting background, and after pressing Ctrl T I will make it a bit big and press enter. Now it seems quite good. Now we have added the white lighting. Now we are gonna add some red lighting from the bottom. We are again gonna use the brush tool, and I'm gonna get some red color to it, and we will add some red lighting to it and put it on overlay. So now we have a nice red lighting effect, and we need not to do any shading I guess. And just make sure that the layer of the text which do not have any drop shadow, just it is on top. It might be a bit helpful, but not now, later in the tutorial. So without consuming any time, I think that I should move ahead with the particles part. So just apply some particles if you want to. This is completely optional, but it makes everything look really dope. It makes like things like look really good. I'm gonna set the whole text thing to 50%, and now you can see the particles as well as the text. Now select the rasterized, make sure that whole text thing is rasterized. So select the above layer which is rasterized and use the eraser tool. Right click, just reduce the size of the eraser tool, and then just do something like this. Make sure that the opacity of the eraser tool is 100%. Do something like this. It brings kind of nice effect, and I want to credit uh, this type of effect credits to Sense. He's really great designer, and I love his designs, to be honest. And be sure to check his channel out. The link will be in description. And right now I'm gonna increase the opacity a little bit. And this thumbnail is looking quite good. And what the another thing that I like to do in some cases is do shading. So what I do basically is create a new layer, right click, create clipping mask, select the brush tool, and select the white color or the red color lighting, whatever it is, and make it like this, which makes the text look like really good. So I'm gonna do it right now also. I'm gonna do bit shading here. It is making it look nice, so I'm gonna do it. Yes. I'm gonna add some red color too. And another thing that you want to do is where this layer is, like, just set it to soft light. It would be like much better if you do so. This is a good way to make your designs better. And the shading is like really important in Photoshop graphic designing. And if you want to become a great designer, then you need to learn shading. Okay, so we haven't created much layers, but our thumbnail is looking quite good. And if you want, then you can also make this thumbnail tutorial text a little bit big and like this and quite centralized. Now this is the time to apply color corrections, and I'm not gonna show you like kind of much color correction applying because we are gonna cover it in another tutorial, but still I will be trying to do color corrections in this tutorial. Okay, it is set to 100%. This is also like 100%. Okay, so something like kind of went wrong because what I did just now is I moved my text and I did this red part, and it was like not looking good. It was getting some black spots over it. So make sure you don't do like me. Now I will just left click on the last layer, select the first layer, press Ctrl G, press Ctrl J, press Ctrl E, and we will make this group kind of something, and we'll now apply some color corrections. Okay, this was completely optional, but still I like to do that. Now I will make I will just go into this wheel, select the brightness contrast, increase the contrast, decrease the brightness, something like this, or you can just increase the brightness to few in a few cases. Okay, so it looks quite decent. We are now gonna add levels. Color corrections are like really important to do, and then like kind of we are gonna add curves. We are gonna make a bit S type of shape, and it is like already looking like really good. We are gonna add exposure to it. You can increase exposure or decrease exposure according to your convenience. Make sure you don't play like with offset much. I don't really recommend you guys doing that thing. I'm gonna do okay. And just don't play much with gamma correction also. And the design is looking quite dope in my personal opinion. Now I will again go to this thing and we'll make a gradient map. And this gradient map, just click on this and make it black and white, and then right click, close tab group, make it overlay, reducing the opacity of it. Oh, sorry, I just often pronounce this all off, but it is all off. So yeah, gradient map, and we are gonna go with a red white will do pretty good. And again set it to overlay, right click, close tab group, reduce the opacity of it, and now hold shift on the first one and the last one. All the color corrections will be selected, group it, name it CC. And this is before the color correction, this is after the color correction. We have added much glow. And now I'm gonna merge the group one with CC by holding control and selecting both. Press control J. Now I'll go to filter. Now I will add some further effects to it. So we'll go to other high pass, and just make sure the radius is around something like 10 and press OK. Now you can either set it to overlay, that works well, and reduce opacity, or you can just normally reduce the opacity, that too works well, but in my case I will overlay it. And we'll lower the opacity something like this, and it is making it quite quite sharp, something like that. And again I will merge that, press Ctrl J. This is something like I covered in my previous video or previous tutorial, whatever you can call. Also video text with stylizer, much. I'm gonna go with Gaussian blur effect and do it something like 10 pixels, because in my case I think that it will look good. Press OK, grab the eraser tool, make sure the size is quite big, like 800, and rub the part that I really want to highlight. Quite good idea. I see many designers doing like rubbing the Gaussian blur like this, so I'm also doing it. And a last effect that is really optional to add, and in some cases you can add it. What you can do is an RGB split effect. Now you can press Ctrl J, double click on this layer, and from here just in the blending option default, just deselect the B and the G and make sure the move tool is selected, and right click 2 times, like right arrow, just press right arrow key 2 times, and it will do a nice RGB split effect. But I'm not gonna do that, I kinda like really don't like it, so sorry for that. Okay, I'm gonna do something like a black effect right here, a quick type of kind of black effect. Just let me show you. Just I will grab the brush tool, make this size pretty big, make sure black color is selected, and do something like this. I've also got this idea from Sense Only. Okay, honestly I really love watching his tutorials, guys. Well, now from normal I will set it to overlay, and or I will reduce the opacity on normal only. And with the help of this you can kind of also make like gradient type of effect if it have gone gradually with the color corrections. Yes, you can do it. And this color correction gone thing is not by sense, this is personally by me. Yes, I have a personal brain and I apply it on my designs sometimes, really, guys. So that's pretty much it for the tutorial. Make sure you smash that icon down below, and if you have already hit 15 likes, then be sure to check out the description, the template will be below. And if you haven't hit 15 likes, then be sure to leave a like and check out this video later. And I think that I will be announcing it on Twitter as we hit 15 likes, so make sure you follow me On Twitter, my tag is at the rate Zenanov underscore. And I think that's pretty much it. Just make sure you subscribe to my channel for more awesome, amazing tutorials like this. Really, thanks for watching. My name is Zenanov, and I'm signing out.
Top of the food chain, rockin' with a rat tail. King sanitation, covered at the trash mail. Murderous assassins, harassment, of blackmail. How you think I made it in the game? It's a rat tail. Never made a black belt. You don't wanna fight me. Top of the pyramid on the inside.